See, you didn't know where that one was going.
No, I really. Oh, thank goodness.
Yes.
I haven't laughed out loud all day. Yes.
We are recording this on the last
Yes.
night
Yes.
of the presidency
Yes.
Donald J. fucking Trump.
Yes.
We will
Yes.
tomorrow.
Well stocked.
Tomorrow at this time of day,
stocked.
we will no longer. We will have a new president, and
Right. Right. And we'll see how the newscasts decide to actually not report on Trump anymore, no matter what he does.
yeah,
That's the key. But this is celebratory, to say the least. As I mentioned earlier, I brought out a place where I like to be, where I've been before. I brought out how I think I would get there, and then I brought out what I should do before I leave. Can you guess what those three things are in that order that I brought to the table as my drinking friends? A place I want to be, how I'm going to get there, and what I need to do before I leave. You have 30 seconds.
place. How you want to get there has got to be a fat tire. Place you want to be has got to be. I don't know. Smittix is not a place. And what do you have to do before you get there? You got to doers get it done. I don't know. Help me out.
Doers has got to get it done. All right, so very good. 2 out of 3 is correct. But I want to go to Boston because what I'm drinking is a Boston Lager
Yeah, baby.
by Samuel Adams. So, but I don't know whether we do all this stuff. Probably will. But this is a big deal for us. We've done, how many episodes did we do when Trump wasn't president? 0?
0.
We're soon to have, nearing our 100th episode, and we've never had one. Were we recording when he was running?
It fucking feels like it, but no. We started.
It's 2 years ago, so we started long after.
We started in
2 years into
early 2019, and he was long since president.
2 years.
So
Long in.
so we are approaching. This one that we are currently recording is episode 94. 94.
Whoa.
Yeah, baby.
6 more episodes left
Until I watch
before
that
the
stupid.
premier discussion of Moonstruck.
Yes.
A centennial event. The centennial episode,
Right.
which is already pre-titled. Moonstruck, could be Moonstruck My Ass, or Moonstruck and It, could be the title of the episode, but the whole episode will be dedicated to it, so get ready.
Moonstroke.
Get ready. So here's some, you got a drum roll, here's some news. Big event. Very good. We know for certain that last episode, number what would it be?
93.
What was the name of it? What was the subtext?
Oh, the subtext.
Do you remember?
I do. I titled it "Impeach Cobbler," which was a phrase that was uttered.
At least 14 people listened to it.
Well,
14. Now, think about that. We now have more viewers than can fit into a large van.
that's true.
So it started out with Stanley in the car.
We need a bigger
back
van.
and forth to Kansas.
We're going to need a bigger van.
I don't know. What do we? You know what I think we consider? We put the show on a train.
The happy hour.
We get a
train.
boxcar.
Yeah.
A happy hour boxcar.
All aboard.
Huh?
Happy hour.
And seats, a couple of booths, sleeping compartment, toilet, and enough room for 18 people comfortably.
It's going to take us another 20 episodes to get over 18, so that's good.
4 more. Give a prize for the 18 to bring a friend. That's what Trump is doing for his farewell, okay? You know the story. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, that has to run quickly because at some point, Trump is not happy about this, but he has to give Air Force One back to the United States government because he can't use it anymore.
Wah.
And so usually, historically, the outgoing president grants, through this permission process, gracious use of Air Force One following the inauguration, where he allows the former president to go to wherever he's want to go, assuming that he needs a jet to get there. In the case of Obama, he went somewhere, but he didn't go home because he ended up living.
Normally, it's not some island without an extradition treaty, but yes. But here we are.
But needless to say, the Trump people didn't pursue that as a viable option. So they were told, well, you can use it, but you got to have it back because it's not yours anymore. So that means that his supporters, and I'll tell you about the invitation, his supporters have to be there pretty much about just before dawn. And if you want to get up front, you need to get there before dawn. And it's outside in a hangar in freezing cold. And the invitation says, featuring Donald Trump, doesn't say anything about the end of his term, doesn't say anything about the incoming administration, just says it's an event, a celebratory event. And it says to them, please bring 5 friends. Please bring 5.
Hey.
We don't care who they are. We don't care who they are.
Look, if you're listening to this, tell 5 friends about this podcast. We don't care who they are. We just want to boost our numbers and our ratings. Doesn't that make sense?
Right.
That's
what he's doing.
And then when they listen to this, they can tell their 5 of their friends. And it's
5.
like
You know what?
Expo fucking Ninja, as they say in
I'm going
math
to change
class.
the name to the Amway Hour.
Well,
Do you know why? You have a dull look on your face. You don't know why.
I am
Amway.
way understanding this. I mean,
Yeah.
Joe is a big
a Ponzi
proponent
scheme.
of Amway. I know. I'm sorry. I was thinking
is?
of the railroad. What's the railroad called?
Who
Yes, I know about the plane.
just bought Amway? Who bought Amway?
No.
The orangutan called Man. They ended up giving him human rights, and he bought Amway. So now it's A-Man's Amway.
Nice. Yeah,
Kind of
there's a
automatic-poetic, isn't it?
there's a really great
A-Man's Amway.
there's a really great podcast series about MLMs, which stands for multi-level marketing, which is what Amway is. This concept of where you get some portion of the income generated by people that you sign up for, basically a pyramid Ponzi scheme. And it has done so much damage to the American economy. And the people that are super profitable from this have done some amazing lobbying to make it so that Congress can't pass laws against these pyramid platforms. Anyway, I will link that in the show
bet
notes
they have.
at happyhour.fm/0.
That's how Betty
9
DeVos's husband.
4093, we said. Yes. So
9-4.
094. Yes. So I wanted, as a send off to our dear leader, I wanted to read through a couple of the 82 stupid things from the Trump era you probably forgot about, posted on BuzzFeed.
Yes. So I'm so glad you bring that up. I got to tell you that after I quit work today, I had a moment, and I got up to number about 70, and I wrote down 4. So it'll be interesting when you pick the ones that you want to read, or maybe you're just going to start with the first one. I don't know, but did you pick some favorites, or you haven't really looked?
No, I read through them all, and there were some that I thought I might skip because they're very photo specific that don't really lend themselves to the audio medium.
Okay.
Like,
when you get to one I picked, I'll let you.
Because there's a bunch that are like, that time when he made this funny
You got to
face.
see the picture.
Yeah.
When he looked like this.
Right.
Although there is one I want to mention
Anyway,
about the way he looked.
this will be in the show
It
notes.
ties into a
This
prior episode.
this link will be in the show notes at happyhour.fm/094, we decided. So number 1 is,
And as a tribute to Trump on his last day,
yes,
82 things.
we're not going to list them all.
Here we go.
So when he got to sit
Well, of
when he
course.
got to sit in a big boy truck, that
Which is
photo
what
scenario where he was up in
Is that
the
number 8?
That's number 1 in the fire truck, and he was just there
It was good.
looking like a 7-year-old grabbing the steering wheel of a big truck and being like, look
Right.
at me, I'm a big man,
Which is actually photocentric, so I'm surprised that the first one squeaked under your standard. That's
No,
okay.
But
We've been
everyone
drinking.
remembers that.
It's late.
But everyone can picture that particular photo. It's not a
All right,
particular
what's
one.
next?
And so the second one is also when he stared into the sun during the eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
When everyone is being cautioned, don't look
It
directly at it, and he is there looking right up at the
It
fucking
reminds me
sky.
so much, and then and now, that with his fucking turkey waddle that he has that connects the bottom of his chin to his red necktie as a waddle, and how much he looks like the proverbial fucking turkey who's going to drown himself in his own in the fucking rain shower.
Right.
Okay, with its head back and its mouth open, its beak open. That's a good one. So look at number 8.
Hold on. Another one, number 5, is when he marveled that nobody knew that healthcare could be so complicated.
Right.
When
I loved it.
he was like,
I loved it. And everyone in the country
literally
in unison
everyone said,
said,
duh.
We did.
So,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. What's number 8?
hold on. Number 7 is when he addressed thousands of Boy Scouts with a rambling political speech about
Yes.
cocktail parties and rich people having sex on boats. these young
such a
boys
lunatic.
out there in the crowd. And anyway, all right, number 8. He told scientists he might kill the coronavirus by finding a way to inject people with light or disinfectants.
So one of the reasons that is a highlight to me is because not just because he did it, but the extraterrestrial look that Dr. Birx had on her face during that,
Yes.
and how he then went into a total maniacal, unbelievable stretch that he was kidding. And he said it. He must have, we could check this, but I bet you he was still saying it a year later. There wasn't one single person on the planet who believed him. That's not true. 35 million
Right.
probably believed him because they believe anything. But the others are funnier than that. That one is sad, actually.
Yeah, when it's sad. So the next one, which is also very photo heavy, but if you have been following the news at all, you will instantly imagine the photo. Number 9, when he served college football players a fast food feast during a government shutdown and posed for this photo where he has all these McDonald's hamburgers laid out and he's there with his hands spread and behind him is a very pensive portrait of Abraham Lincoln in the White House. And here he is with all of these McDonald's double cheeseburgers or whatever. It's just like, but like that particular photo, I think might be the most emblematic of his whole presidency.
How clueless he is.
How clueless he is, and
How low class.
and how low class. How, hey guys, what if I bought McDonald's for everybody? Wouldn't that make you like me?
Oh man,
Like,
that would be different.
That level of
they would love that.
Right.
You can't get too many cheeseburgers.
that level of
Oh, yeah.
of
I'm a
intellect and class of, hey, what if in this grand historic building we put out a great table full of fucking McNuggets? It's what sort of level of human do you have to be? Anyway,
Yeah. And so here's the thing about Trump too that I'll tell you from these things. I'm going to hear some more. I'm going to give you 3 numbers. So jot them down because we want to. I don't know what they are anymore. 27, 37, 65. 27, 37, 65. Whatever you feel like. But
whoever has
and these
those
are
on their
not-
bingo sheets.
There's a couple in there that.
Yes.
There's a couple in there that aren't on my list that show him genuinely happy. One is when he's he's throwing a baseball.
Yes, that was one.
And conversely, he's
Hold
got
on.
a funny look on
We're
his
gonna
face
get there.
and enjoying himself. I know, but this is my point. There's a couple that he's laughing. It's an interesting thing about Trump, how those aren't a couple that I had ever seen before.
Yeah.
I had never seen the 2 smiling Trumps, which put him in the only, for me, the only potential positive light for a moment that he actually was experiencing a human emotion that other people feel, like enjoyment or mirth. You never hear he's a funny guy. You never hear, oh, he knows how to have a good time. You heard that about the other presidents all the time.
Sure. Every
Except
single
for
one.
Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Nixon liked to drink. Scott,
Hey,
but
Harry.
no,
Yeah.
he doesn't drink. He has no humor. And so to see him laughing, but anyway, I fell off the ladder of the 82 rung
Allow me to continue.
climb into legacy.
So the next one, number 10, is he speculated that anti-police brutality protesters were throwing bags of soup. I recall it being cans, but
It was cans.
hold on. I mean,
It was cans.
Hold on.
We did a shtick on it.
we did, but there's a link here where I don't know.
Oh, it must be true. We'll see.
So, we'll see. Anyway, next one,
Maybe he
which
did
I
that too.
totally remember, when he told a hurricane victim whose yard became a landing spot for someone's unmoored yacht. At least you got a nice boat out of the deal. What sort of a fucking...
His house is gone.
Right.
And I don't know if you're going to pick this one, but when he's throwing the rolls of paper towels out like
Yeah,
he's
hold on.
tossing
We're getting there.
T-shirts after
We're
a
getting
ball
there.
game.
Slow your roll. No spoilers. So the next one is when he met with people affected by mass shootings at schools, and he had a note in his hand reminding himself to say, "I hear you." He needed a note that the photographer took a photo of this note that was in his hand. One of the questions was, I can see the photo here. What would you most want me to know about your experience? Is the question. And then the final thing to remind him is to say, look, I hear you. Because
Did he
can you
in fact say
imagine? Can you imagine
Yeah.
Obama or George W. Bush or anyone needing that level of empathy prompt. But here we are. Anyway,
Right.
let's continue. When he told reporters his coronavirus test came back positively towards the negative. Yeah. When he was hospitalized with COVID-19 and released photographs of himself working, which appeared to be signing blank pieces of paper with a marker. Classic Trump.
And showing him, obviously, in two different rooms working only 10 minutes apart.
Yes, exactly. Yes, because the reporters went and they looked at the EXIF data, because photographs with modern cameras have these data signatures. Anyway.
And I hate to beat it to you, but this is a segue into him posing, acting like he's writing his own inauguration speech with a pad and a pen.
Yes, so good.
It's like nobody, who believes this? Oh, you're studious? Who's the best student ever? Wharton School of Business, West Point.
So
I had it all.
when he
That's
briefly left the hospital to hold a COVID parade and greet supporters,
Yeah.
when he left, he was COVID positive, and he got in a car with a bunch of Secret Service people, and just because he wanted to get out of the hospital. Anyway, when he met the lawnmower boy,
And
sat
I
at the
wonder
tiny
if any of
desk.
them-
We've talked about so many of these. When he hugged and kissed the flag, I do not recall this kissing the flag photo, but number 20 is when he congratulated Vladimir Putin on his re-election, despite being advised by the State Department, do not congratulate. He was very specifically told, do not say congratulations.
caps.
And there he was.
In caps.
And number 21 is the one you mentioned of tossing paper towels to hurricane victims, like he was giving out T-shirts at a basketball game. Hey, you get some paper towels. You get some paper towels. Like,
There you go.
it's
I'm surprised he didn't sign him. I really am.
and
I'm surprised he didn't sign him with his famous black Sharpie.
But that was such a clear moment demonstrating his lack of
yes.
empathy
Completely.
and
Completely.
sense of privilege. And here I am in this hurricane ravaged island of Puerto Rico, giving out supplies, and let's do it in the most fun, photogenic way possible so that I look like a hero. Anyway.
Aren't you glad he's gone? Doesn't it just give you a existential relief, an existential sigh of relief?
Ever since he's been cut off of broadcasting apart
Twitter.
Yes. Twitter mostly, but the fact that he can only broadcast now via official channels like normal presidents, it's so nice. Anyway,
you had a cartoon you sent me that was perfect.
Yes,
This is what that sigh of relief sounds like.
That's going to be
You ready? This is what the sigh of relief.
Oh yeah, nice.
The sigh of relief.
Yes, that's
12-year-old doers.
That I'm pretty sure that particular cartoon that I sent you, first of all, it will be in the show notes, but also it will probably be the art for this particular episode. It depicts Trump as if he were one of those monkeys with the symbols that has batteries on his back that just walks forward, and the batteries have been taken out of him, and the batteries are labeled Twitter and Facebook. So fucking perfect.
In the snow, which is even more interesting.
Yeah.
Which makes it just absolutely in real time.
It makes it very January.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Very January. Hey, that's a good one. How are you feeling today? I don't know. Very, very January.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to be feeling very fucking January party time. January.
Oh God, yeah. I set aside some time. And he had the Republican Party in his hands. He had it in his hands. He had it that no one could run for president besides him until he said so. He had that in his hands, and he made sure that he destroyed it because he is, as his father knew he was, the biggest fuck up on the planet Earth, the biggest loser who would fuck everything up time and time again, and now live in absolutely fucking historical infamy that the way that he will be discussed in history is the single most diabolical, negative character in all of our history. And one could predict that we won't have anything like him again. And I think that will be his legacy, is that there will no longer be this allowance that, oh, you do that because everybody's done it. Release your taxes. Oh, that's this and that because it was custom. Or some policy in the fucking Department of Justice that says you can't indict a sitting president. You know, a policy, a memo, that was written during the Nixon era, that's what we base this on? Give me a fucking break. Pass a fucking law and use the balance of powers and get this shit square. Co-equal branches of government.
I think that
Congress can't get away with this shit.
I think the historians are going to have the benefit of the doubt of really knowing what a bankrupt, debt-ridden loser he was.
Even more will come to pass.
The whole time that he had the rest of us convinced that he was a rich guy. I think that...
Who was convinced?
Yeah, no, I said us as,
the proverbial.
The
conglomerate us.
Yes. So then I think that it's going to come out that he was always this poor, and I think that it's going to make it hard. I think it's going to force future people that want to claim that they are rich and they are rich because they are clever to actually show some fucking numbers. Because I think if you don't do that, they're going to call you, oh, whatever, Mr. Trump, just to mock you.
How Trumpian of you.
Right.
The American lexicon has forever changed.
Absolutely.
All sorts of new words, all sorts of new phrases, fake news, all the things that he coined, his pendant for being able to stick people with nicknames that were clever to a certain extent and belittled and captured, which is exactly what he wanted. Little Marco, for example. What was his for Lion Ted?
Right.
And it instantly brought up those things about the guys. That's why he was so effective. He rose to fame in social media. He used social media. There is a story that you probably read about his media guru who met with him early on and said, look, we need to plot a strategy for you to be the biggest thing that ever happened. And he's the one who helped develop it. You know about this. You must in your line of work. There's a man, a guy, a guru.
A social media guru?
I'm surprised he does it. I'm surprised.
That it's not jumping immediately to
yeah, social media guru.
You'll have to
That's
follow
sort of
up
like
on
a
that.
slow-moving movie, a movie where the person jumping is going in slow motion and the body of water is a big puddle of mud.
All right. So we're only up to
get-
number 20 here of 82. There's more to go.
This is a special 2-hour episode,
Yes.
so we got all the time in the world. Well, I'm
Wait.
not hanging up until this bottle of scotch is gone.
So number 22 is when he tweeted the word kofefe in the middle of the night. What a hilarious...
Do you remember the story? Do you remember the news that was widely reported that he had fallen asleep with his device in his hand and that his fingers just randomly fell on those keys and someone woke him or saw him sitting in some chair somewhere and said, Mr. President, and then they saw the traffic and they realized what he had done and so they deleted it. So you can imagine them going, and he doesn't sleep with his wife. He's got separate bedrooms, and so he's sitting up in a chair somewhere, probably TV set, a TV tray in front of him like you used to see the Reagans eat on the big couch. But here, the room is strewn with garbage. It's pizzas, boxes, with all the crust in them, because he doesn't eat the crust of pizza. He just eats the topping.
Sure.
Just like a lot of 3- and 4-year-olds will do. And also wrappers of all sorts of shit. And it isn't that the people don't come and clean it, or he chases them out. That's what's happened since they cleaned it last. That's just 12 hours of what he's doing right now. He's stuffing himself. He's probably dressed. He's probably has fucking underwear. He might be even fucking soiled. He's just eating. He's not drinking. Who knows? He's probably got some fucking hoe who comes in and fucking blows him so he gets a little fucking relief. This is what his life is like right now. This is what his life is like right now.
So the official...
His wife's in Florida.
The official Kofefe tweet was on May 31st, 2017. He tweets, despite the constant negative press, Kofefe. No punctuation. But what I love is that then there are follow-up tweets by other people saying, it's been 22 minutes. I think he meant Kofefe. And another one says, it's almost an hour and the Kofefe tweet is still up. Imagine he tweets something wrong during a crisis. Who's there to fix it?
And then there was some banter about what Kofefe really meant, that he did it on purpose.
Yeah, that's to be dealt with. So then he met with the Prince of Wales with an H, which, as he tweeted,
right, Wales with an H. Yeah.
when he pronounced the national park Yosemite as Yosemite.
Yosemite. Oh God, he is such a fucking
when he
moron.
drew on a hurricane map with a Sharpie. We
Yes.
discussed this.
Yes, that one. In fact, if I recall, that was one at that time. That was actually one of the earlier proofs of how outrageous he could be. And in hindsight, when we look at that, we realized that was nothing.
Right.
And yet we were like, are you kidding me?
That was September 1st.
Unbelievable that the President of the United States would do.
That was September 1st, 2019. I'm sure we discussed that on this exact program because
we did.
were recording.
That was
yes.
That
was, so then we have
Lord.
when he said this hurricane was one of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
This is the worst we've ever seen. Yeah, worst ever from the standpoint of water. The worst ever.
When he saluted, and
What number was that? Oh yeah,
that's
a good one.
We're jumping up.
That's a good one. That should have got more press. What number's that?
That's 37. But the next one, 38, is
I had that one.
you had 37. That was on your bingo card. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And do you remember the shit that Fox News put Obama through when he bowed a little too deeply to some foreign leader? And they were like, oh, this is an outrage. This is like putting yourself prostrate to the enemy, and this is showing your belly, and this is a show of subordination, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, almost as serious as when Obama wore the tan suit.
Oh, let's not. Stop. You're bringing back flashbacks of horror.
Stop.
Yes.
Oh, I could get sick to my stomach when I think about how outrageous Obama was.
Yes.
With that fucking tan suit. What could he be thinking?
Fucking
Moral
bullshit.
outrage. A tan suit? The president?
Was he
Is
what?
he on vacation?
God.
What is this, casual? What is it, a casual Friday in the White House?
No. That's no good.
What, are you going to wear jeans? Low
Well,
life.
Obama with his mom jeans. That's another.
What would you expect? What would you expect?
So the next one is our perennial favorite, person, woman, camera, TV, which when he's bragging about his abilities, which everyone knows is exactly him naming objects in his field of view. This is like me saying laptop, monitor, whiskey, Dennis as my things that I'm thinking about right now. It's just what?
That's one of several that explain to us how he's really an idiot savant, because he's really very stupid. He has a very low IQ.
Yes.
On a lot of things. This is proof of that, what he said about the bleach. This is low IQ stuff. And so that supports the notion that he is, in fact, a social media idiot savant, because that's his only fucking skill.
Right.
He can make news and he can distract. He is so good at distracting. He could kill a negative news cycle about him, which was serious, like a foreign issue where he was at fault, with a different issue, which wasn't particularly flattering to him, but it didn't really matter because it wasn't that one.
Right.
He could hold up the shiny keys
Exactly.
to the press.
Exactly.
And they would go like fucking piranha to fucking chicken livers thrown in the fucking river.
Yes, he held the shiny keys to the press. He could, at any one moment, make the press stop thinking about whatever they were thinking about and start thinking about whatever he wanted.
Yes.
And
did you hear what he said?
Right. Did you hear the last thing that he said? Yes.
Well, that's nothing. Listen to this.
Exactly.
That's one of the reasons that I love to tune in to public television news, because unlike the opinion news stations, MSNBC, CNN, which are really political news shows, they're not general news programs like PBS, McNeil Hour, whatever they call that now, because they get into those other things and they give a lot more depth. Where even MSNBC will have their panelists and they'll spend a couple minutes on a segment. On this one, they will give somebody just 3 or 4 minutes to talk, which you get 30 seconds when you're on these other stations. So
Right.
that was always really helpful. Okay, roll the
Next one.
barrel.
All right. We're skipping a whole bunch. We're going up to 51. When he said that he met with the president of the Virgin Islands, parentheses, which is him.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
I like that
I
one
like
a
that one
lot.
too. There's a whole bunch of silly photo things.
That's
55. When he asked a kid on Christmas Eve if they were still a believer in Santa. It's what,
And the kid said, "Why shouldn't I be?"
can you imagine Barack Obama talking to a child and saying, "You don't still believe that crap, do you?" Like, what? That was my Obama impression.
What?
So, when he took credit for no planes crashing, when he said he was like really smart, like a very stable genius, when he brushed dandruff off the French president's shoulder in front of the global media, when he said birthday gift, maybe that's why she doesn't sleep in the same
65.
room. No, that's 59. Blah blah blah. When he fell for a prank phone call, 63 is the photo where he actually looks happy throwing a baseball. This is the only photo I've ever seen where he looks actually like he's having fun. And this is while the ball is, and then the next one
on the stage.
Yeah, you've said that. I haven't seen that yet. The hugging the flag. No, the hugging the flag one. Yeah, but that's his dancing wasn't joyful as this throw is. Anyway, the next one is him trying to catch a ball and looking stressed. But look, I would like to complain about this, because if you are taking photographs of someone when they're trying to do something in sports, you will find the most awkward face when someone is trying in the moment of catching something, or in the moment of hitting something, or in the moment of throwing something. If you look at photographs of pro tennis players when they're hitting a ball, they always look so anguished. But I disavow number 64, where he's looking weird trying to catch a ball.
I can barely believe that you're applying a point of principle to Donald Trump.
No, to this
article. You are a rare breed. You're a rare breed.
So the other,
how about an exception to that for Trump?
Okay.
Just one time.
This guy deserves nothing.
Okay, what's 65?
65 was one of the ones that you chose. Is when he boasted about his administration to the UN General Assembly, and they all laughed at him. I remember this so clearly. He was like, we've done more for this country than any other administration ever. And the room erupted in laughter. and he was confused. He was confused because he was like, that wasn't supposed to be a laugh line, but hey, if you guys are happy, yeah.
He said, no. He said, if I recall, he said, no, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Something like that you never would have thought that a president of the United States would have to say. I didn't go any further than 65. So from this point further, these are going to be you refreshing me on history.
So
it's not refreshing me from the list.
The actual link from the list says that his response was, didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay. Trump said with a smile before continuing with the speech, which I recall is as true.
That shows an amazing amount of insight that I wouldn't think he would have, that he was even aware of the moment.
So the next one is, when asked what he was thankful for at Thanksgiving, he said himself. Hey, Narcissus. How you doing?
Wait a minute. Let me continue gazing in this little spring of clear water here for just another moment before I answer your question.
In his gold-plated toilet bowl. Yes. Next one is, he held a press conference on the coronavirus and touched 7 people. Remember when he wanted to buy Greenland and caused a diplomatic crisis when Denmark refused to sell Greenland? It was so good.
What a fucking maroon. Do you remember why?
Do you remember why what?
The woman who is the prime minister of Greenland cut a video of instruction to Trump about climate change that she spoke down to him like he was a great... That's what sparked his say he's just going to buy it. Do you remember that?
I think you're attributing too much.
Link there doesn't take it.
No, it does.
No. I'm clear about this. I think the Atlantic Monthly reported on this.
She's not talking to me. She's talking to the United States of America, the president added. You don't talk to the United States that way. Yeah. So, yes, you are
just
correct.
Preceded it.
Yeah.
These are some things I'd like to forget.
So, as we continue.
Hey, I have a stray thought. I have a stray thought. So do you remember, like another one, do you remember in The Young Pope, the episode when the prime minister of Greenland came to visit the Pope, and it told the world, if they didn't already know it, that in Greenland, the citizens of Greenland, the inhabitants, the people of Greenland, cannot help but dance when there's any music being played. Do you remember talking about this?
You have mentioned...
You don't, do you?
You've mentioned this, and Jude Law, I believe, is the star. I've honestly not seen that movie.
No, it's a series.
Show. Okay.
Young Pope.
Yeah.
A young Pope, and then the new Pope. And the new Pope is John Malkovich.
Okay.
Certainly.
I have not seen it. You have mentioned it. You've mentioned it.
Oh, man.
I've seen the 2 Popes.
I know you. This is what Tom Hanks' character said to Wilson in his famous Castaway movie. He said, I know you, he said to Wilson, and I know you. You will love both of these series. You will love them.
Okay. I will put that on
put it on your to-do list in your spare time.
Young
Put it after the number 65.
Pope.
Young Pope. And of course, the young Pope before you see the new Pope. This is one of the more stunning performances of John Malkovich ever.
Malkovich.
And the beauty of it is it goes on for episode after episode. And I can't get enough of the guy. So it was like, oh, man.
Man, do you remember back when we were talking about him in the comic book show? I can't remember. Where he was throwing people onto the moon.
Oh, it was the series, right? With Don Johnson. The cartoon graphic novel series. He played the sheriff.
God damn it. Boy, we look so dumb right now. Anyway, not important. So, back to our list. He said we could rake forests to prevent fires. He said, hey, you guys in California, man, if you just rake your forests, you're not going to have forest fires.
Right. If everybody would just rake their backyard, they'd go. Did anybody do the math on that?
Oh, yeah.
How many acres every man, woman, and child in California would have to rake each year to make that happen? We should do that.
Well,
you should do it. I ain't got the time.
His point was that in Finland, they don't have this problem because they rake their forests. And the Finnish prime minister responded, as I recall, like, what the fuck are you talking about, Donald? We don't do that. In fact, it's healthier for the forest if you leave all the detritus on the ground. Anyway, next one is when he said revolutionary forces took over the airports during the American War of Independence in the 18th century. Classy.
That was good. What are his handlers? What goes through their head? They can't give like a face palm when he's saying the shit. The fucking is I don't know what his communication people are because I don't know.
They must just be like them. At some point, you learn to expect the unexpected, and
but do they say, "Oh, that's funny"?
I don't know. They must have just this background taste of bullshit in their mouth that any new particular thing is. That's Donald.
I'm not sure I want to know. It's an awful feeling, awful taste. I'm glad you gave it to me.
Let's see.
Oh God, what did I do? I ate something that had fucking dog shit on it. Have you ever eaten dog shit? Or any kind of shit?
I mean, on like pasta or on
Practical
rice?
Joke. Oh, so you're a connoisseur then. Did your wife feed it to you in these little glass mustard containers with a glass top and a little glass spoon wedged in?
I mean,
oh, darling, there's some of that. Here's some shit from the next door neighbor's dachshund. It has a long, skinny sardine look to it.
Sardine shit is one type of where we're going here. When he kept tearing up documents, so we're going to finish soon. We're getting close. When he kept tearing up documents and the staffers had to tape them back together. That one time, remember when he shoved another world leader out of the way so he could be in the front of the photo. Like they were meeting at Davos or whatever, and he was like, "Excuse me, I'm going to be here in front." When he called Tim Cook Tim Apple, as we have mentioned many times, when he defended his ability to walk down a ramp.
Yes.
And anyway, that's pretty much the end.
And let me interrupt there. There was a point long before this ramp thing where he became such a butt of so many jokes that he was a caricature. And we got, so many millions and millions of people got so much enjoyment out of how he was being made fun of. I remember you sent me somewhere in that time frame the re-recording of the legitimacy of his phone call. It was a perfect phone call, and it was done to a song.
Right.
I think you sent, I can't remember, it was some time ago, but you just did that again with another one, didn't you?
I think so, with the,
you just sent.
Recently with his phone call with talking to the Georgia people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It was, and those are clever. I like those. But that going down the ramp was an example. There was another one you must have skipped over where he was drinking the water.
Right. Yeah.
And had to use two hands to bring the bottle.
Yeah.
Those physical kind of funny things about him, where this big fat ass in a set of khakis as he's bending over to pick up his ball, which might have accompanied the story of what a fucking cheat he was at fucking golf. Jesus fucking Christ.
Right. Like how
fucking care.
Like how the people at the golf course nicknamed him Pele because he kicks the ball so much. So I want to talk briefly about this other article titled "Trump's Snub of Biden's Historic in Its Magnitude." And it talks about the upcoming transition and what is predicted and what should happen and what is probably going to happen, where they talk about how in every previous time in living memory, the outgoing president has been there to meet the new president. And I don't think they mentioned this here. You leave a note on the Resolute desk saying, hey, good luck. This is a hard job. I wish you luck. See ya. And all of this sort of stuff that they do. And they have this part where they say deeper cleaning protocols were arranged via the White House with outside contractors on top of regular cleaning done by the staff, including specialized attention to rugs, carpets, curtains, and surfaces to tackle any possibility of lingering germs of the COVID-19 sort or otherwise. Moving furniture and vacuuming, cleaning baseboards, vacuuming drapes, wiping down shades, cleaning chandeliers, washing windows, high dusting are all areas all covered during the traditional move-in of a new president. And all of this will start when they finally leave, and that the Bidens will be sharing a bedroom. Melania Trump spent the majority of her time in the White House in the large bedroom suite, typically reserved for the presidents and their spouse, adjacent to the West Sitting Hall, according to the source, blah, blah, blah. Donald Trump slept in his own bedroom, which was previously a study or a den during other administrations.
So in that room is where I'm picturing the TV tray,
right,
the burger wrappings, the empty packets to fry, the pizza boxes still with the crust in them, right? The boxes of Kentucky Fried Chicken, where most of the chicken is still on the bone because really all he wanted was the crispy, greasy, salty skin.
Amen. Yes.
What does he drink? What does he drink? Yahoo or
whoa?
Or what? Or did you ever hear the soda?
That's very North Carolina of you.
Go ahead and Google.
Diet
what
Coke.
is Trump's favorite Diet Coke?
Diet Coke.
Or
Yes.
Pepsi? Diet
No,
Coke.
I'm pretty sure Diet Coke. So, yeah. Man. Okay. Wouldn't it be fun, like, as much as I despise this human and wish very boring, unceremonious demise to him, wouldn't it be fun to sit down with him and serve him his first tumbler of whiskey and just sit with him
No.
and be like, tell me.
Why? What would you do?
No,
Horrify him?
No, I think that even someone of my little mind could totally fuck with him in a way.
And act like he was a genius and bring him up a primrose path and then say something to him that would dash his ego upon the rock so he would lunge at you. But because he's so fat and his fingers are full of greasy chicken fucking skin from fucking Kentucky Fried, he misses you, lands on the floor, and then he is, in fact, the fucking Prince of fucking Wales.
Or just, he is the Prince of fucking Wales. That is the episode title. I don't know. I feel like I could toy with him in a way.
Right.
Like, as an interviewer.
With a ball of string.
Yes.
Right?
I feel like I could toy with him.
Cat with a laser pen.
Yes. I feel like I feel like he would be the cat and I would have the laser. And I could just direct him to say or do or confess anything that I wanted him to. I don't know. He seems like such a fragile, controllable, weak-minded schmuck. I don't know. I can't put it in better words.
This reminds me, going back to, of times on the North Carolina coast when your dad wrote the lyrics, and then we as a group rewrote them. I added the chorus of the Donald John Trumpian Blues.
The Donald Trump
I
Blues,
believe
yeah.
was the name of it.
Yep.
There was some more than that, but anyway, I remember that. We'll have to dig that back up sometime because I think we did sing it on the air once. But that probably deserves. This probably deserves another one. It probably deserves another one right here. Right here. I woke up this morning and Donald Trump was gone. Yeah, I woke up this morning and Donald Trump was gone. Oh, I know that it's beautiful. It makes me want to sing a song. Well, I hated him then, and you know that I hate him now. Oh, you know that I hate him. You know that I always will. Oh, I wake up tomorrow and Donald Trump will be gone. Hey, play it, brother.
Yeah, baby. Man, I will be done with my workday tomorrow when the inevitable happens.
Me too.
So
Me too.
I've got a bottle of champagne that I'm going to uncork.
I had to do that. I got childcare tomorrow, but I will be ready for that. I will be there. And then you know what I'm going to do after Biden gives his speech? I'm going to take a nap. And I expect it to be one of the more restful naps that I've had in 4 years.
That's just what Joe wants to do.
Yeah, right. Take a nap.
After his speech, the thing he would most like to do would be to just take a nap.
Right.
I did the thing.
Look over it.
I said my name.
Look over at Jill.
I said,
you know who's giving Jill Biden the tour of the White House? The chief usher
yes.
of the White House. The guy who's in charge of all the people that give tours of the White House. The chief usher. And Ivanka Trump recorded
Melania.
a 2.5-minute farewell where she spoke in many times about the importance of kindness. This is a woman who, for the first time in 150 years, is not showing the First Lady the White House. And she gave a speech about kindness.
Yeah. So I have some breaking news
We won't see this again.
about Melania.
We won't see it again.
So there's a Twitter account. I don't know if I mentioned this, called the Brimley Cocoon Line. Does this ring any bells?
Oh,
Where
yes.
Wilford Brimley, when he shot Cocoon, was some crazy young age, like 54 or something, when he played this retired dude that looked like he was 70. He looked like he was 70. So anyway, there's this Twitter account called the Brimley Cocoon Line, which I will link to in the show notes at happyhour.fm/094. And so what they do is they go through celebrities that have passed this particular age of 18,530 days old. So they show people like Matt Damon and people that you think of as young as having been as old as Wilford Brimley was. And anyway,
How old is Matt Damon?
so like
He's not 50.
scrolling back a little bit, we have Vince Vaughn, we have Mariah Carey, we have Queen Latifah, and we have
Series.
yeah. But so anyway, it's people that you think of as young that totally aren't anymore. But anyway, 1 day ago, they announced that Melania Trump has crossed the Wilford Brimley line of being so old. Let's see, Melania. Let's see how old she is.
And you're telling me that Matt Damon is 54.
Hold on. First of all, Melania Trump, Slovene American, is 50 years old.
Oh,
And,
is she?
and Matt Damon is also 50. So yes, Matt Damon is slightly older than Melania. But
So why did he make it on the Walter Brimley list?
because Wilford Brimley was 50 years old when he made Cocoon.
Oh, I thought he was 54.
Yeah, but I guessed
How did I
that
get
from
that wrong?
I guessed because I wrongly anchored you to that number.
Isn't it funny that I could think that, yeah, maybe Matt Damon is 50, but I couldn't believe he was 54.
He isn't.
Isn't that funny?
That's good. Yeah, hilarious.
Then it's not funny.
I'm laughing.
It's true. You think the truth is funny? Does it amuse you? Hey,
You get truth.
The next time I see you, you're going to be beardless? You shaving after you drink your champagne tomorrow?
Good question. Excellent question. So I have received, much to my chagrin, or
Notification.
so I've been
the missus.
upset. I've been upset with the amount of praise that I have received for my beard. This was always I'm gonna take this off, blah blah blah. But then a bunch of people are like, "No, man, you look good. You should leave it. You should leave it. You look good." And so now I'm like, "Fuck." Like, I don't know.
Pour the champagne in your beard and baptize it a beard of the new Trumpian age. Dribble when you're drinking the champagne.
Post-Trumpian.
Dribble it out of your mouth, down into your beard.
Right.
Take a video of this. Someone should take a video of you doing this with it bubbling down and then showing your hands getting poured champagne in it and you rubbing it all over your beard. And call it the beard blessing baptism for the Trumpian, the un-Trumpian age.
Bubble beard.
You could then write a book about it.
Bubble beard blessing baptism.
Something like that. That's catchy.
Better
almost as
bubble
catchy as
beard
what I said.
baptism. Yes. Yeah. So
That would be good. That would go viral. That would go viral. Then you could sell. Picture it with a siphon, and then pan out with the camera as you're doing it, and see what's that. There's a big siphon that somebody's catching the champagne from
beard
your
juice.
beard, and then there's a bigger pan out, and it's going into a nice fancy glass bottle that says "Bubbly Beard Remnants from the Untrumpian Baptism of the Untrumpian Beard for the Ages."
bubbly,
And sell it.
bubbly beard baptism bottle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a happy hour logo on it.
Yes.
It's good.
We can make money. Hey, is it me, or is it just the scotch talking, or is this a good idea? Huh? I'm telling you,
It's one of those.
$1 million.
One of those three things.
Hey, I gotta go. I got soup cooking.
Well,
Love you, man.
I love you, man, and fuck
Next time
Trump.
I talk to you, we'll be talking about President Joe Biden.
That does it for episode number 94. We did it, everyone. We survived the Trump presidency. Congratulations, everyone. You can find the show notes for the article that we went through at happyhour.fm/094. You can help support us at patreon.com/happyhour. And just go out and celebrate. It's a good, brand new world. And we'll see you next week.